Formatting numbers. The Python 3 string format method provides a powerful way to format numbers. The specifiers D, B, O, small x, and capital X indicate a decimal, binary, octal, lower, uppercase, hex integer, respectively. For example, A is equal to 254, and then if we print A is equal to 0 is to 5D dot format A, we get a decimal A like this. And if we do the same with B, we get a binary A. And if we do it with O, we get an octal A. It is very obvious, these examples. Numbers can be padded with zeros to fill out the specified field size by prefixing the minimum width with a 0. For example, this. Here we put a 0 in front of 5D and then we do the same. Now we get zeros in front instead of spaces in front of the 254. By default, the sign of a number is only output if it is negative. This behavior can also be customized by specifying before the minimum width. Plus always outputs a sign. Negative only outputs a sign, the default, or null outputs a leading space only if the number is positive. This last option enables columns of positive and negative numbers to be lined up very nicely. For example, if we print something like this, and please take your time to understand this print statement, we get something of this sort as an output. As you can see, we have the positive and the negative numbers aligned very nicely. Let's print something again. Now look at this example. And again, take your time to understand this. Now if we print this, we again get our numbers, either positive or negative, lined up very nicely. There are also format specifiers for floating point numbers, which can be output to a chosen precision if desired. The most useful options are F, fixed point notation, E or capital E for exponent, it is also known as the scientific notation, and G or capital G, a general format which uses scientific notation for very large and very small numbers. The desired precision, number of decimals example, is specified as .p after the minimum field width. For example, when we put A for a very small number and then we use G, we get something like this. Now this notation helps us to get a scientific notation for very large and small numbers, and in this case A is a very small number and hence we get a scientific notation for it. Now let's try E. Now let's try formatting A with an E. We get this. Now let's try F for the same number. Now we get this as an output. There is no scientific notation used here. We could also put a 10 in front of this F and specify the width. Here, Python will not protect you from this kind of rounding to 0 if not enough space is provided for a fixed point number. Please remember that. So this is the end of the video. I'd like to remind you that this is a free course and you can find the whole course on the website letsbecomeascientist.com. Thank you.